Hello! This evening we're going to take a look at several free add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator that improve the low-level visual aspects of the simulator. If we jump across to a browser, we can have a quick look at the add-ons. The first one we're going to look at is Project Lifts, and this installs the gondolas, ski lifts, the masts for them, the base stations, and removes the trees en route, and it does it all over the world. The next one we're going to look at is the Powerlines and Solar Farms add-on. Again, so this puts cables between all of the pylons which were missing before, and you can hit them. It also goes and puts solar farms on the ground. The other thing we're going to look at is We Love VFR, which is, you can install it in various regions. At the moment Europe and America are available, and it puts lots of missing objects into the scenery that make sense. You can see them scrolling past on these screenshots. So it's things like mobile phone masts, power station towers, smokestacks for industrial areas, all that kind of thing, and radar dishes, all sorts of things. But it makes it, obviously, the scenery that much more rich, and it gives you a lot more things to navigate by. Okay, so let's go and take off. We are at Alps in the Alps, and if you look behind our aeroplane, you can see there's one of the ski lifts behind us. Okay, so let's go and rev the engine up, come off the parking brake, and you can see straight away we've got some obstacles we wouldn't have had before. Immediately we're going to have to climb over a ski lift, and then we've got power cables in the way. So we're going to rotate. So you can see the ski lift there goes off down the hill. And then immediately in front of us we've got this power cable to keep an eye on, and luckily it's got markers on it, so it's very accurate in that regard. And if we continue on round, you will see that there are lines and lines of these ski lifts. Obviously we're in the French Alps, so in the winter this is, you know, ski central. Fly up along one of these ski lift routes, you'll be able to see the lifts on the cables. Just try and miss this to one side. We have to be mindful that we can hit these cables. Okay, so if we come back in towards Alps, you can see there's those great big cables across the approach. Again, you have to be really mindful that, you know, you can't always see the cables depending on the way the light is on them. So if we were going to approach Alps now, it becomes a completely different story, doesn't it? So you've got to miss this lot of cables, and then you've got to deal with also the ski lift, which is right on the approach as well. So it changes the story dramatically. You can see the effects of having FS Realistic installed there with the cockpit juddering around because I slammed it into the ground quite hard. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video here and I'm going to take you over to somewhere else where there's a power station that I can show you, and some other elements of the scenery. So I'm just going to pause quickly. Okay, we're back recording again, and we're over Manchester in the UK, and you can see suddenly we have construction cranes, and we have different kinds of construction cranes according to the project. And again, you have to be careful, you can hit them, and they've usually got loads hanging below them. Look where we're going. If we look around carefully, we'll also have mobile phone masts dotted around. I think there's some further out here. we straighten up, and I'll go to slew mode so I don't waste your time with this, and we'll go zooming across the landscape towards them. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh no, that's the airport. I do apologise. If we go off across the landscape, you'll see that this VFR scenery suddenly comes into play. Because yeah, we've got the construction cranes. Outside of the towns, we're going to get the pylons. So if we accelerate on again, what we really want to go look for is a power station. So if we go up to Bury, north of Manchester, so we want to go, let's turn north. Just looking around on our way to see if there's any obvious markers that we're looking for. Right, so if I then go to Slough, and we'll zoom forwards and go to the other side of Manchester. So if we go into the air, if you're not aware of this, the higher you go in Slough, the faster it goes. I'm looking for something very specific. When you go looking for something to show anybody, you can't find it. Slightly, because we're ahead of the scenery engine now. We've been slewing for so long. We're actually miles ahead of it. There we go, we can see what we're looking for over here. Right, let's give the sim a chance to catch up. Power stations, smokestacks. So the smoke is animated. You can fly through it. Obviously you can't fly into the chimneys. So we're just going to fly up to this power station and have a close look at it. And we'll hope that the scenery catches up with us sometime soon. It's starting to catch up. If we just fly along for a couple of minutes, Flight Simulator will realise that it hasn't drawn anything below us and it will start loading everything. So if you've ever wondered why the sim pauses when you're loading into a new area from the main menu, this is why. Because obviously it hasn't loaded any of this. Look, there's a delay while it goes and fetches everything. Then here it all comes, look, the 3D objects are slowly appearing and we're getting buildings everywhere. So there you go. So We Love VFR adds things like power stations, radio masts, mobile phone masts, radar dishes, all that kind of stuff, and it adds it throughout regions of the world. So region 1 is Europe, region 2 is the USA, and they're working, I believe, on Eastern Europe and Africa. We've even got lights, look, around the edge of the towers, just as they should be. flying along low across the town down here, you should see some more features that have come from the various add-ons we've added. There's some masts down here, looks like a construction site. Remember, we have to be careful of pylons as well while we're at it. Yeah, there's a construction site, but quite a big one. Several cranes on it. More pylons. Again, it changes the game with treetop height, treetop flying, because you know you might run into electric cables, and they haven't always got the markers on them. It really depends on the voltages, I think, whether they're marked or not. But you can see, yeah, there's another smokestack out there. Some other piece of industry that's got them. There's more cables over here I just spotted flying towards slowly. Suddenly the whole game becomes a lot more. Yeah, there's those cables, look. They're almost invisible unless you catch them in the right light, which is true of the real world. Flying alongside the pylons here, look. Cables. So you can see it changes the experience enormously. There's something else to have to look out for. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. So we have looked at the ski lifts and gondolas add-on, the Powerlines add-on, and the We Love VFR add-on, and added together they enrich the world of Flight Simulator quite a lot. There are lots of other add-ons as well you can get for putting shipping in the seas, for example, but yeah, if you're flying over land a lot, these ones just are unbeatable really, and they're free, so head to FlightSim.To and go look them up. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and I'll see you all again soon.